Okay, hi, this is video one for my global learning project. I'm just going to start by talking about my own culture. I was raised in a predominantly white society, and I was sent to school by my parents to two Catholic schools, middle school, and then high school after that. So I felt sheltered in my education most of the time, but something that helped me a lot was I volunteered, and my high school was in Pontiac, so we did a lot of work with the Pontiac local high school. So I got a lot of experience that way, so it helped me feel a little bit less sheltered, and I got to see more of the world and how other people lived and how other people viewed education, which helped a lot. Um, it was always very highly regarded in my family education, so educators as well were very highly regarded. This probably helped me make my decision to become an educator because I felt it was more of a noble profession than perhaps a family that didn't regard it as highly. Something else that helped me regard education as a very high and important thing was that my family never gave us everything right away. We always worked for what we wanted. So, in order to achieve our goals, we really need to perform well in school. So, education was never a joke for my family. I always worked very hard in school, which was important to me. And I can see how this might not have been the same for someone else on either ends of the spectrum, whether they worked really hard or they were given everything so they didn't need to work hard, or vice versa. They weren't given anything but they didn't see a lot of value in education. That could also have hurt them. I'm planning with meeting an international student. He's from another country, somewhere in Asia. I'm not exactly sure which country. I haven't been able to meet him yet. I was just set up by my friend. So that's going to come along soon. That's part of my plan. I think this is going to be very different. Part of the reason I really wanted a student from Asia is because I actually have some friends from Britain and Scotland and places over there, but they're very similar to us, so I thought he would be very different. It would be very exciting. The only other encounter I've had with someone is when I hosted an international at my house in high school, which was interesting and I learned a lot, but I didn't learn as much as I would like to because it was my sister's international student and I didn't ask a whole lot of questions as I was young and was more nervous about it. Something that could be very different about this international student is that they could have held education differently in their country. It could have been less of an importance or more of an importance, and that would really impact the way that they treated it. In our country, we hold educators as more of a low profession, which is sad but true. And so maybe in Asia or whatever country he's from, they held them as more of a high position, more towards how we hold our doctors or our lawyers, which would be a very interesting stance since I've never experienced something like that. I would like to see how they think about them. Going forward with my plan for my global learning project, I'm going to plan out my questions for both of my meetings much in advance so that I can cover everything I want to cover and so that I can really get all my questions out and not leave any of the meetings wondering more, which will be very helpful. And also make sure I have a final goal so that I'm not going into this with no goal, but rather I can go into it really knowing what I want to learn and what I want to come out with.